what's up, YouTube? I'm Kenny, my fellow eyes, and big friends and followers, and my healthcare and subscribers. This is your Hellfire leader, Maggie Negan, the Walking Dead Fangirl27. How's everyone doing today? So, you know what today is? Yep, that's right. Today I am doing a Q&A. And like I said, you guys, ever since I've been doing my Q&A last year and the year before, everyone has been submitting so many incredible questions, and I just feel like answering them because it's just so much fun. So this time it's kind of going to be a little bit different because in one of the Q&As, a special friend of mine decided to send me a wonderful fan art, and I just want to say that this is so exciting. I never got fan art in my entire life, so this is a grateful and I'm feeling so happy that someone submitted this wonderful drawing. And I'll let you know who sent me this incredible masterpiece. Alrighty, guys? You guys ready for this wonderful Q&A? So let's get this started. But before we do, you guys, if you guys really enjoy this video, like I said, all my videos, if you guys want to press that like button down below, right there, you see? Okay. And then don't forget to share with your friends and family, as well as subscribe to the Profile Hellfire Club and ring notification bell for upcoming announcements such as me attending conventions, merchandise, and so much more throughout the channel. Alrighty, guys. And if you guys have time, if you can see this link right here based on this box, if you can click on it, and it's gonna be in the description, I'm going to be publishing, a wonderful romance book, and I hope you guys really, like it. I just worked so hard on that trailer, and if you guys have the chance, please let me know what you guys think. And of course, I'll be like making sure that I find a legit letter agent to see if I can get it published because it was harder, to write it than, of course, to design it. All right. So don't forget to click it already, guys, to support this wonderful trailer. All right. And again, guys, I want to say right now, at this very moment, if you guys have time, please check the description down below to follow my social media platforms, as well check out Kyle Kennedy, guys. Please check his latest videos, his live streams, and so much more, you guys. And of course, continue supporting Kyle by finding a literary agent for his own book. It is titled The Call of the Red Scarlet Violin. And of course, please check out his community posts by looking at his blog posts about his phenomenal artwork and, of course, his phenomenal stories, alright? So continue supporting Kyle, alright? By subscribing to his YouTube channel. So good luck, Kyle. I believe in you, alright? So let's get this Q&A show on the road, shall we? So question number one, and of course this is coming from Kaim. He asked me a couple questions, which is three by the way. He says, "What is your favorite folklore creature?" Then he says, "What is your favorite book of all time?" And then he says, "What fantasy world would you live in for eternity?" So I'm gonna go, in order what Kaim wrote, so you guys can get a feel to it. So what he said on this first question, he says, "What is your favorite folklore creature?" Hmm, that's a good question, Kaim. I gotta say that my favorite folklore creature, and I know she's not really a creature, but more like I like the folklore of Medusa because I feel bad for her because Kyle can side me with this. He can agree what I just said. Because if you guys think about it, because if you read the book about Medusa, right, like she had a rough time, if you get what I'm saying, because if you can understand the lore behind Medusa, it's a Greek mythology, right? And how she came about to become this horrendous creature with snakes in her hair. You gotta understand that Medusa is not always the villain, in my perspective. You know what I mean? She was just this innocent young Greek woman, just minding her own business, and all of a sudden, a Greek god named Poseidon came in her way, and he did something terrible, which I don't want to get demonetized by saying it, but other than that, I just feel like, she deserved better. You know what I mean? And then what happened is that Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, decided to take her own hands in the matter and just decided to have Medusa have this ability to like turn people to stone by looking at her gaze. So it was kind of messed up. It's like, in a way, it was like kind of like bullying, if you ask me, right? And the second question that Kaim asks, the follow up, he says, "What is your favorite book of all time?" Oh my goodness. I have so many, to be honest. Kaim, you really, hit me with this one. But I'm going to say that my favorite book of all time, I gotta say it has to be yours because the reason why I'm bringing up Kaim's book, which I always mention in the channel, by the way, and I know you guys haven't read it, I like the Red Scarlet Violin book because it has more uniqueness what Kyle wrote, and he put in so much depth and so much passion within his writing because he knows so much about Irish folklore and how he brings in so much, passion with his writing, and it feels very moving, very captivating. You know what I mean? So if Kaim sees this Q&A, I want to let him know that I'm really answering his questions like very powerfully of how I meant every word in the vocabulary because I mean what I say about Kaim's books. And I know that Kaim's gonna probably say in the comment section, but Maggie, why, why can't you pick other books, not just me? Well, I'll say other books, right? I mean, I have other books lining up, right? And if I can say besides Kaim's book, The Risk by Lynn, I gotta say the other book I prefer reading, and I gotta chime in and continue reading it. It is written by a famous vampire writer. His name is Vampire Jack Townsend, which I mentioned him in my previous videos about what happened to him in the past because it's still, currently going on. But I gotta say, like, I like the book that he wrote, and he wrote mostly like a lot of books throughout the years, and I got to meet him in a book signing, that is, and it was very incredible to have him, sign, his name in his book, wrote a nice message. Then you guys can see from here, like I got started reading because I have a lot of books from him, and I didn't get the illustrated version, which I'm gonna probably get in a few days, which I am gonna probably get it before it gets sold out, but I gotta say that, reading these wonderful books written by these phenomenal influencers, right? Because Kime is one, a wonderful influencer, including Vampire Jack Townsend. It's just that the way they write, it's like, not to like take this, long time to respond, the question, but I'm going to get my point across, right, guys? Like, I like books that has so much meaning to it. And if I have another favorite book, to be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's like, I like books relating to fantasy with something that I can escape reality. Like for example, like I prefer reading books like The Hunger Games or Harry Potter or even like The Vampire Diaries, something featuring lore a lot, you know what I mean? Because I just am tired of what's happening in real life and sometimes people put reality within the books and everyone can agree that I we all want to escape reality, right? And the final question that Kaim said, right? He says, "What fantasy world would you live in for eternity?" That's a really tough question, Kaim. Oh my goodness, again, with another tough question, right? I gotta say, like, if I can live in a world, in a fantasy world, that is, I prefer, living in the Harry Potter world, if you ask me. The reason why behind all of it, because I like how J.K. Rowling literally is so captivating by taking, things in her own hands, by inventing this wonderful, school filled with, magic and so much interesting backstory. Not to mention like how you get to experience different like creatures, different characters, and between good and evil. I like that kind of thing, So I could just say that I like to live in the Harry Potter world, that is. So thank you for your question, Kaim. I really appreciate it. The next question is coming from one of my good friends. His name is OML Online. He asks, any cons you look forward to going? Well, speaking of cons, I am going to be attending Anime NYC on August. I believe it's on August 22nd, right? And then, in the same month, right? I believe, I'm not too certain, right? I'm probably gonna attend, Tropical Con, which is around Long Island. Maybe, I think, I could be wrong. Maybe it's around August, maybe around July. I'm not, not too sure. I gotta check the date exactly, but I will definitely attend. You guys can meet me there. I'll think of what cosplays to pull off. So you guys can recognize me. The other conventions I probably be attending is either what was it? Maybe EternalCon, maybe out on Island in Hofstra University. The reason why I'm going to these conventions in my city is because I don't have the right money to attend like out of state conventions like New Jersey, Florida, or like Ohio or anywhere outside of New York because the thing is, right, one, plane tickets are expensive, and two, I don't know anybody from any of the states. Besides, maybe some of my cosplay friends do live there, but even if I want to go, like, is it worth it? Is it a big con like my city? It depends. I'm just into conventions who are very popular, who are really like knowing people, that kind of thing. I gotta see. It depends. You know what I mean? And if you guys ever want to ask me in the comment section like why I'm not attending your Comic Con, I'll leave the link down the description down below on why I'm not attending your Comic Con this year. And not to change the subject, right? Not to go to the following question, but I'm just gonna let this out of my system, right? The reason why I'm not attending this year's New York Comic Con of 2026, I mean, look, come on, like the prices are like outrageously expensive. You cannot tell me you're gonna like spend nearly 1K on one VIP pass, or even like going for one day at a convention at the Jacob Javits Center. You gotta be kidding me. Unless some big happen, it's like the entire cast of the Avengers, like Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., or you know, I don't know, like Mark Ruffalo and everyone else, or something exciting is gonna happen. Like I've been to the Jacob Davis like for MNYC, it's the same center, but is it worth it to like spend all my money? No, it's not. And this is for another time to bring up, but I did mention in my oldest videos that us cosplayers, whoever dress up, deserve some kind of discount, something, some kind of leverage. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying that anyone that doesn't dress up because they're only like what they're like photographers or bloggers or whatever you guys are, right? Those who don't dress up because they want to like just buy merchandise, more crap in their closet, you know what I mean? That's fine, but at the same time, it just feels like we cosplayers, me included, right? Like we put on the show, we put on the spotlight. We deserve some kind of like guarantee that we get a discount somehow. Like cut the price in half, I don't like I said before. Like if you guys check out my latest rant on my New York Comic Con video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, and I'll leave it in the description below. So thank you, Bestie. I appreciate your question, by the way. So next question. So my good friend, who me and him have a lot in common based on our favorite baseball team, the New York Mets, that is, he asked me a couple of questions here. He says, "quote What's your favorite thing to do and your least favorite thing to do, and why?" Okay. My favorite thing to do is I think I explained this. I do like going to conventions, but besides all that, I like to travel. You know what I mean? So like I would like to travel outside of my state sometimes, either to Europe when things are like not too hectic, what's going on, or I like to go shopping, or like I get to like spend times with my friends, going to K-pop events here and there, and other times where um it depends on the situation. I can either go to like see Broadway shows, participate in other things, and the least favorite thing I like to do is, I hate staying at home, doing like some online things, which I don't like discussing. It's kind of like private of me to say, but the reason why I don't like staying indoors, it's just like, it's not that I don't like it, it just feels like I'm stuck here in my apartment, had to deal with these stupid neighbors I have above my head, which you probably hear in the background throughout my videos, and I can't control it, you guys. No matter how I complain to these idiots above my head, there's nothing I can do. Okay, I can't remove the background sound. I can't do nothing about it. I can't go up to them and say, "Hey, look, can you tell your kids to cut the crap out? Like I'm filming here." They don't really care. So that's what I had to deal with. That's the least thing my favorite thing to do, right? But another thing I don't like to do is be in the same place more than once. It's like, okay, look, I have nothing against my own city. It's just like I've been doing the same crap day in, day out. Meaning like I tend to like go to the same place, over and over again. Going to the city and then coming back home. It's nothing exciting. I'm not saying my city is not amazing. We do have so many incredible events in New York. We do. But at the same time, it's just like it just time goes by real quickly and all of a sudden I'm doing the same crap again and again. And it's like, is there anything else I want to do? Like, I want to be able to go to the beach, which I hate to say, like, some of these beaches in New York City, some of them, not all of them, but some of them are filthy. I'm sorry. And if I do want to attend, like, a freaking maybe a carnival, maybe, there's always some kind of fight breaking on, and who's to blame, So that's my like the least thing of my worries, that's what I'm worried about. But thank you for your question, Bessie. Let me see what you asked this time, okay? Let's see. You asked let me see. He asked me another question. He says this, right? What's your favorite restaurant to eat and your least favorite restaurant to eat? Right? And then he says another one, he added another one saying, if you make the best vlog of the year poll, which one is your favorite? Well, thank you, bestie. NBA Games Boy 2.0. I'll start with the first one, right? My favorite restaurant to eat, well, unfortunately, is no longer there, right? My favorite restaurant was has to be TJ Fridays, but now I have so many restaurants that I like. It has to be either TJ Fridays or Hurricane, you know, the grill restaurant that I tend to like go a lot for my birthday or for graduation that my family keeps taking me. Because look, I'm a type of girl that likes wings, like boneless wings that is, or even like, burgers, steak, pizza, you name it. You know the drill, right? I have so many, type of restaurants that includes like delicious, taste and seasoning and everything else. There has to be some kind of like delicious food that makes my taste buds like wanting more, you know what I mean? And my least favorite, restaurant, like I have nothing against this restaurant because I know my mom and my dad wants me to live healthy and strong and live a long life. I'm going to say that before my Alexa got turned on, I gotta say that my favorite least kind of food to eat, I hate to say that I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna say maybe Panera Bread. It's not that I have nothing against the company or based on their background or whatever, it's just a personal topic. But I gotta say that like me eating constantly the same thing over and over again, like the same salad, which I have nothing against it. It's just like it depends on the circumstance. I don't mind eating healthy. I do want to lose weight, which I know people never see me how I look because I am a full figure, not reaching that hourglass figure just yet. I am losing little by little, a few pounds here and there, but at the same time, it's just like repeatedly, it's just that people tend to like, loosen the seasoning. You know what I mean? And I have another least restaurant that I sometimes go to. It's mostly like diners because I know my dad likes eating diner food, and I sometimes complain to him like that this diner restaurant that we always go to, each one out and about, it's just the same crappy food. I'm sorry. It's like I have nothing against diner family owned restaurants. It's just that my dad gets crazy about it because they have everything in the menu. But at the same time, for me, Maggie, I'm not crazy about it. So like that's my thing. And you asked me another question. You said if you make the best vlog of the year, Paul, which one is your favorite? Oh boy, again with the favoritism. Oh my goodness. If I could create a best vlog, Paul, and I gotta say it has to be my upcoming merchandise in the future. I mean, I guess you guys haven't seen it yet. Well, it's mostly like the fact that I know it's not getting a lot of views and likes. I know you guys are very picky when it comes to it, but I'm gonna try my best, and I'm not guaranteed it's gonna be certain. But I want to make sure that I want to do more videos in the meantime, based on my action figure, which I'm hoping to get someone to make it for me because I know like making action figures are very expensive, and you need to be having a lot of people, so many connections to make all these wonderful merchandise. Which I know you guys want merchandise of my avatar, which is very sweet. I don't mind that. You want the avatar of, little old me, with the horns and the Hellfire Club t-shirt and the crazy ass samurai sword, which you saw in my intro, and I appreciate that. I'm doing the best I can to like move forward with that project. And if I could choose another favorite, sorry, Bessie, I had to pick another favorite, right? The other favorites that I want to put out in the poll, that is like I want to like get my book out there if that's possible, because I know it's very hard. I know how kind feels when it comes to get books out there because people are very picky when it comes to it, because they're very like favoritism to who writes the best novels or whatever. So that's like what's going on. But I appreciate your question, Bessie. Thank you so much for your wonderful and incredible question. My good friend, Millennium4940 says, question, what is your description of the post I made for you? Like, what are your thoughts about it? If you guys, like I said in the beginning of my video, if you guys haven't, seen what my incredible best friend did, right? Millennium4940, I put up right here, right? He made this incredible, most digital fan art of me. And I'm just blown away by this because I never get fan art by anybody but my good friend, my own best friend here, just made this incredible picture for me. And I gotta say that I look totally badass. I love it. I am so thrilled by this design, because you guys can see the Demogorgon, and you can see, see Vecna in the background and me holding the flame sword, and I gotta say, I truly, truly love it, and I love this whole kind of graphic, how my hair is all flamed up, and I have this iconic tattoo of the Hellfire Demon on my thigh right here, and on my stomach, on my abs, that is. I'm just blown away by it. So I really am thankful for this. If you guys want to like send in your own fan art to me, and you guys can send it to me on your community post, and I'll put it on my page as well, because I am so grateful for all of you guys for doing this incredible thing. So thank you. It brings tears to my eyes because I never received so many incredible, friends and subscribers in my life. So thank you so much, Bessie. You guys are awesome. My goodness, I just love it. You know. My other friend here, initial two, says, if you had a briner, meaning breakfast for dinner, any day, what would you eat? Hmm. Let's see. I'm very picky when it comes to this. I am a foodie, so I want to answer this question, right? It has to be right. I'm gotta say that I'm more like, the English breakfast kind of person, because I know I'm not English. I'm not, from, London, England. I know that. But I'm gonna like say it anyway, right? I prefer having that breakfast because I like the style of it. I know like not all British people like it. Maybe I could be wrong, but for me, as a Hispanic girl, I like the English breakfast because when I visited the UK for the very first time, I like the whole, the sweet beans, the scrambled eggs, the original bacon, which it has ham in it. I like that kind of style. I just like how it has like the seasoning with the pepper on it, and it's just really good. I could have that, to be honest, I could have that for dinner all day. So thank you for your question, Bessie. I appreciate that. And let's see. The final question for today is, right? My good friend Far Cry 223 says, what is your favorite anime shows of all time? Oh my goodness. Everyone's asking me my favorites. Says what is going on? It is so crazy. I gotta say my favorite anime shows of all time. It has to be one of the throwbacks back in the 90s TV shows I used to grow up in, and of course in the 2000s. I gotta say that you know, either the Cartoon Network shows back in the day, like the Kids Next Door kind of cartoons, the Teen Titans, all that kind of cartoon shows. I just like cartoons in general that has that meaning to when it's hand drawn, and Khan can agree with me about this because me and him are very artistic when it comes to hand drawn. Because I know you guys haven't seen me hand drawn, lately, but I'll feel like showing you guys some of my pieces of drawing, right? And getting back on track. So, like, if I can like pick an animated show, and I gotta say that in particularly, like, I prefer shows like that because the drawing style is very original. Because even though it's kind of like 2D and it's like hand drawn, I like that kind of thing. Because I like the whole Dexter Laboratory, The Kid Next Door, like I said, Teen Titans, and like all these incredible cartoons, that we don't see nowadays. And I just wish they can bring it back. And it's sad to see that Cartoon Network had a big downfall because of the ratings and the fan base, because everyone's now requiring AI, and now everything is digital. Like, I can see why a lot of fans are very disappointed, and a lot of things in personal reasons as well. So I appreciate your questions, Bessie. So thank you so much. And I want to say that's pretty much it for the Q&A. And I know it's kind of short. I try my best to get everyone involved to submit their Q&As, but I'll do the best I can. If you guys want to see a second part of it, that would be awesome. I'll simply give out, the same rules again. If you want to see a part two of a Q&A, that would be awesome. And you guys can ask me any questions in general, but it doesn't have to be favoritism. I don't do favorites. You gotta understand, you guys. I can't pick and choose. That's how picky I am. Okay, but other than that, you guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you all for this incredible and fantastic questions. And again, I appreciate the fan art, bestie. You guys are awesome, and I hope that you guys see in the next video for another Q&A. And stay tuned for more upcoming announcements, such as me attending MNYC on Saturday, and hope to see you there. And if you guys need anything at all, like if you guys want to ask me any questions, leave it down the, comment section. And by the way, you guys, let me know in the comments as well what you guys think of the Q&A. That'd be awesome, and hope to hear from you. Okay. And again, you guys, like I said in all my videos, if you guys really enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, please follow me on my social platforms down in the description below and support Kind Cannon. Alright, guys? So this is your help by later, Maggie Negan, the Walking Dead Girl 27, saying off. See you next video. Peace out, you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.